Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we are going to be reviewing the Caron Cotton Ripple Cakes. So, this is a $9.99 yarn US. It is available at Michael's. Let me get to my very simple notes on this yarn. Guys, it was very simple. Aw, man. Darn it. This is the color Clearview. This is the color Summer Rain. Those are the only two colors of this yarn that I have purchased, but that does bring my total purchase to this of 4 cakes now. I keep having to run upstairs for things today because I've forgotten things or I'm getting notifications I need to do things. And one of the things I forgot was my washing swatch for this. I'm going to have to run upstairs at some point, but first I'm going to go. Let's talk about what's on the ball band first. So this is a size 3 yarn. It is 100% cotton. It is 8.5 ounces per cake and 491 yards. Where's my, there it is. So this yarn has a really neat little texture to it. It has a, you can see where it's floofy and kind of slubby, and then it kind of moves into your 3-weight yarn there, and it's got a nice even pull. It does not super fray at the ends, even though it is kind of floofy. It does kind of stay together. It's got a nice stick to it. Now, this is 100% cotton, and if you've been a subscriber to my channel for any length of time, you're aware I'm not a huge fan of cotton. Carrie doesn't like cotton. Cotton dries out Carrie's hands. Carrie doesn't like working with cotton. This did dry out my hands. It is cotton, but I didn't mind using it. I'm really not minding this yarn so much, and that kind of surprised me for a big box cotton, because I have found like Pima cotton, while it does dry my hands, I enjoy working with it. I hate dishcloth cotton, but I love having crocheted and knitted dishcloths. Cotton blends are okay, hit or miss, depends on the quality of the cotton and what it's blended with, but overall I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it so much when I realized I needed a 3rd cake to finish my project that I actually was making with this. I bought this to go with it so I could make something out of leftovers. That's how much I liked it. I actually bought more of it. And it's a cotton. So the project that I made with it is the Tilly tank top. It is a pattern written by Katie and the Squid. It is shared on the Furls website. I will leave the pattern link down below. If you watched my show and tell number 98, 99, 99, you may or may not have seen a picture of me actually wearing this tank top. It fits great right now. It is a little bit short, but the weight of the cotton will pull that out, I am sure. But this is my finished project with it. Now, I did block the individual pieces before doing the seaming work. This is a fully stretched seam, so I'm not overly worried about that. But as it stretches out, these stitches will open up a little bit more. Oof. But you can see it, for a slubby yarn like that, you actually do have a very clear stitch definition, and it was not bad in linen stitch. I was rather surprised. You can see a little bit more texture in the flat slip stitch there and in the single crochets, but not in a way that's unattractive. For a pattern stitch to have a textured yarn, that's not unattractive. Now, this is kind of on the heavy side because it is 100% cotton. And I may or may not have somehow in here put up the bad picture that I sent my mom just to say, yay, I got it done. The only thing I would change about the pattern, and I might come back before I run out of the clear view, is I do wish these were a little bit wider. So I might actually add a row of single crochet to the inner armhole area. But that's a personal preference thing. That's not something the yarn messed up, and that's definitely not something that the pattern messed up. That's just a me thing. So this blocked very nicely, just soaking it. It didn't take on water very easily. So it's very clearly treated with something to help it stay together as you're working with it. Let me pause this real quick, and I'm going to run upstairs and grab my washing swatch so you can see what I mean with the difference. And then we'll get into some of the other thoughts I have on this yarn. Hold on just 1 second. Whew. A little breath. I am really glad I'm having a very good joint day, because let me tell you, jumping in and out of the floor like I have been. Hi, Demi. So this is my washing swatch, and you can tell it is a little bit floofier compared to the stitch definition that we have and just the soaked version. We didn't lose that much dye, but we did lose some when I soaked this. You see where it just kind of fold into it. I did follow the washing directions for this. I machine washed it, machine dried it in my weird low temperature permanent press. So I don't have an agitator on my machine, my washing machine, but this is so soft. I mean, like mad, stupid soft washed. I don't know that I would machine wash this more than once or twice, because it did get, a little, it folds and it gets a little bit fluffier. So I would machine wash this to get whatever the sizing material is out of the yarn. So I will machine wash that tank top before I spritz it and wet block it again. But because it just didn't take on that much. It took forever to take on enough water to block it. And it didn't wring out very well either. It's like once I add the water, that sizing was not letting it go. This is, by the way, the water from blocking it, that's how much color bled just, soaking it. Or 1/2 of it. That was, I couldn't find my bucket. I have a bucket that I use for blocking or making laundry soap. And I couldn't find my bucket, so I had to do it in 2 bowls. But that's 1/2 of the sweater. But I do think I'm gonna wash the sweater and dry it, and get the sizing out of it, and then I will probably hand wash it from that point forward. But this is super soft. You can just wiggle, 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 shake, shake, shake. I was impressed. Color me impressed. That is it. It's not quite as soft as a lot of the Pima cottons I've had, but it is quite soft. So I was impressed with how it washed. I was impressed with, from back here, you can't tell that there's a color difference between what's been blocked and not blocked. So washed and not washed. It held up. The weaving in the ends was a little, make your ends a little bit longer and weave them in a little bit further with this, just because of the texture of the yarn. There is no give as you're working with this because it is a cotton yarn. It doesn't have a whole lot of stretch or, it's not a very pliant yarn there. But like I said, I liked it enough. I bought an extra cake to do another project with. And last night, after I finished seaming everything on the sweater, I did start the ball band pattern. Because I liked it enough for that. And what actually triggered me to go ahead and do that and just, suck it up and go with the ball band pattern there was how soft this machine washed. This is going to be an incredibly drapey, luscious feeling shawl. As excited as I was about the sweater, this is going to be amazing. Now, I would probably not do bags out of this. I don't see any reason why you couldn't make face claws out of this, because that washes up so soft. I mean, just so incredibly soft. I don't want to rub all my makeup off, but I mean, I hate using this as a coaster. The plan was to make this to be a coaster. This was going to be on my desk. It matches my rainbow hook holder. I wanted a coaster. But I kind of hate to use it as a coaster now because it's so soft. It just washed up that soft. Another, just to know about this yarn as you're working with it, keep your tension hand loose. Don't loosen your tension, but relax your hand while working with this, because it has no give, and because of the slubby texture of it, keeping your tension hand loose will give you a much better stitch definition. Because when I over tensioned on the sweater doing the linen stitch, I was getting some wonky looking stitches, but as soon as I relaxed my hand, I got much more even stitches with it. Y'all, I'm shooketh. I am shooketh to the core. There is a cotton I can say it's worth buying. I might not make another sweater out of this because this is, you know, awfully heavy. And this was not the best stitch pattern for this yarn. There's nothing wrong with it, but I am going to have to after washing it and drying it, so it'll take on water better, I am going to have to substantially block it to really get the proper drape to the body of the sweater. Right now it's a little boxy on me. As the picture will have shown you, it hangs a little boxy. Once I have that softened up like this, I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. And I think it's going to block out just fine once I've done that. So I'm not overly anxious or worried about that. But I do have to say I'm super excited about the shawl. Yo. I mean, I really genuinely am very excited about the shawl, because I think I'm going to get a very, very, very nice shawl out of this after it's all said and done. If you like a textured yarn, now I do like a textured yarn. With the caveat of all of this having been said, I do like a textured yarn. I did think about trying to knit this. And you see what it looks like in the double crochet there, where it's just textured. It's a nice texture. And that's unblocked. That's just how it came off the stitches. I was getting ready to say something else and totally lost my... Oh, not count. We're just going to be all over the place. You get all the information in the end. We're just going to be all over the place. In the first two cakes, I only had one knot. In the third cake, I have had one knot. So 2 knots and 3 cakes, that's really not that bad. Especially with the yardage and the... texture. Let's go back there. With the yardage and stuff that's in this, that's really not that bad to have a knot in every other ball. While I am annoyed with knots in my yarn cakes and my yarn balls, I get it. They're all the same colorway. They were all bought at the same store. It could just be a run. I haven't used any of this one yet, so... But, yeah, 2 knots and 3 cakes really isn't that bad. I'm not going to complain about that whatsoever. I've had much worse experiences when it comes to knots and yarns. I've had worse experience when it comes to knots and yarns in Caron's yarns. In Line Brand yarns. Oh, have we had some knots and some Lion Brand yarns. Yeah, so I thought I would like it because of the texture. I do like textured yarns. If you remember 2-ish years ago, I used Peyton's Venus to make a wrap, and it has a very similar texture. So I did know going into this, I liked this kind of yarn. It works well knitted. It works well crocheted. It just depends on the kind of texture you're wanting in your finished garment or project. So I knew kind of what to expect. I don't have a knitting needle or anything nearby. Let's see if I can reach it with a hook. Oh man, I got my hook stuck in the cake. Welcome to real life, you guys. Woo! This is the Peyton's Venus. So it's a very, very similar kind of texture. It's just not wrapped quite as tightly or spun quite as tightly. So I already knew I liked that texture. I already knew that wasn't going to be an issue for me going in, but I do like it. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. As a lifetime cotton hater, I am kind of disappointed that I like this yarn. It was fun to work with. I do like the colors it comes in. A lot of them just make me think of like sea glass and Easter and spring and yeah. So it washes amazing. I might not machine wash it more than twice or dry it more than twice. The washer, especially with a non-agitator washer, it's a lot harder to get damage to your projects, but it definitely fold into the stitches with washing and drying. It opened up the yarn quite a bit drying it. It did not come out of the washer looking like that. That's definitely coming out of the dryer looking like that. So I might, you know, wash it and dry it one good time just to soften it, make the stitches really bloom, or make the yarn really bloom into the stitches. And from there, I would do a hand wash or machine wash, air dry after that. And just, unless you want to make, you know, face cloths with it, and then machine wash the daylights out of that because it's just going to get softer. I mean, that I would definitely say this is great for things like shawls. You could probably, if you really, I used a G hook, I think, to do that sweater. If you drop back maybe one or two hooks, you might be able to get something like a bag out of it that would hold up really well. That's not something I would necessarily, I would be worried that that might still draft apart with weight. But the shawl, I think this is going to be perfect, dead on perfect for the shawl. So I'm kind of, and also that my store had a knitted swatch of it. And that's why I was looking for a knitting pattern originally, because the knitted texture is really pretty. So I'm genuinely surprised I like this yarn, because it had a lot of things in it that were very dicey and fancy for me. There were a lot of things in it that might have made this not go very well for them. However, color me impressed, Caron. Yarn Inspirations, you did something right with this one. I like the colors. I like the feel. I like the way it washes. I like the way it held up. Yeah, I'm going to leave that hanging right there. I like the way this turned out. I'm surprised. I was prepared to not like this. There, like I said, it doesn't have give. It is cotton. It doesn't have give. Relax your tension hand while you're working with this. Don't over tension or tighten your stitches down. And I think you're going to like it. I mean, if you like textured yarns, if you like yarns with their own texture, there's a chance you're going to actually like this one, because I was surprised. So don't laugh too much at my picture. Once again, my mirror's dirty again, and it gets backsplash from washing faces over there. And it was just a candid shot to send my mom a picture to show her that I finished it. But enjoy the picture of the sweater, and let me know if you've tried this, what you think of it so far. If you've looked at it in the store, It is $9.99 retail. Now, I did not pay that for either set I got. The first time I went and bought the first 2 cakes, they were buy one get one free, I think. Something like that. They were on a buy one get one sale of some sort at Michael's. And then when I bought the second 2 cakes, they were on sale for $7.59 or something. So I guess they were 50% off. Some weird version of their, like, they were doing some weird yarn sale over the weekend, and the math didn't make sense on it, even online. Whatever. I needed the other clear view anyway, so. All right, you guys. Take it easy. Leave comments down below. I want to know your thoughts and feelings on this, because I'm a little surprised at how much I like it. Now, that if it changes, watch the show and tell updates, or I might leave something in the description box. But as of now, having finished 2 whole cakes of it, and I'm halfway through the 3rd one, finished a project, finished a swatch, I'm happy. I'd say if this is your kind of yarn, give it a whirl. Let me know what you think, because once again, people do actually read my comment section in these review things. So if you have thoughts and opinions, leave them down below so other people can read them, not just me. I do have subscribers who read my comments. So you guys take care. I love you, and I'm going to stop babbling at you guys, and I'll see y'all real soon. Bye, guys.